General business. Yes, sir.
Oh, refresh it. Okay, refresh again is, okay.
Refresh is going to be up on the top.
This here.
Yeah.
This is, yeah, okay. All right, so it has to be green now. Morning.
Good morning. I'll call to order the Arapahoe County Board of County Commissioners public meeting for today, March 21st, 2017. To my left is Ron Carl, County Attorney. To my right is Gail Stumpo, Assistant Clerk to the Board. Ms. Stumpo, would you call the roll, please?
Commissioner Jackson? Here. Commissioner Holen?
Here.
Conti?
Here.
Here.
And Commissioner Sharp?
Here. Commissioner Jackson, would you lead us in the pledge, please?
Please join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Carl, are there any modifications to the agenda this morning?
Yes, there's one modification. There's a request to pull item 6C, which is a general business item involving a fee waiver because the applicant is not available to be here today.
Thank you. Is there a motion to adopt the agenda as modified?
So move.
Second. Motion made by Commissioner Jackson, seconded by Commissioner Baker. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Let's see. Citizen comment period. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak? Welcome, Ms. Fay.
Diana Mays, BOCC Administration Manager, reading into the record for citizen J.M. Fay, who resides at 2575 South Syracuse Way, F201, Denver, Colorado, 80231. That's unincorporated. March is National Nutrition Month, yet you are still allowing Mountain Man, who sells items with little or no nutritional value and based in Douglas County, to sell in our county building as opposed to cottage food producers based here in Arapahoe, who are also in the farmers market booklet, as we sell items that the ag department can promote. We have been to a lot of meetings over the years, including plenty of budget ones, and we have never met a more partisan group and or who don't seem to want to put the interests of the county above their own. We have, it seems, all Democrats or Republicans appointed to this board when unaffiliates are the biggest group in this county. We also have people on that board who live in one district but are appointed by another and who may not represent the interests where they are appointed. There's also one guy who is only back in the USA 18 months and a county resident of only 6 months, yet he is on the budget committee. We don't know if there are rules on who you can appoint, but the first one should be residency to make sure people understand this county, and the second one should be you can't appoint someone who does not live in your district to the budget committee. A third one could be we need to have one unaffiliated person per district appointed. Third issue, in case you missed the news, DOJ is now, per our NRE president, printed lists of sanctuary jurisdictions and also taking money away from them. 118 entities released 206 illegals as opposed to turning them over to ICE, including in Colorado, Boulder, Denver, Broomfield, Jefferson, and Weld counties. We can't wait to hear when Arapahoe Aurora does this and you too lose money because this is breaking existing and long-standing federal law. And speaking of breaking the law and or your own rules and regs, when does this county intend to take responsibility for the harm done to one citizen when county and Cunningham staff did not do their jobs and caused the citizen harm for almost 21 years? You have harm to undo, apologies and compensation to offer, and you also get to mediate with Cunningham, Cherry Creek, one nasty HOA, and one library district to further undo the harm done. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you, Ms. Fay. Is there anyone else who would like to speak during citizens' comment? Okay. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented? Amended. Sorry. Oh, did we amend the consent agenda or just the general? Oh, no. Okay. Consent agenda as presented. Sorry. Okay. So Commissioner Holan made the motion.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Conti. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. We have two now. One was postponed, so we have two public hearing items today. Adoption of the 2017 reappropriation and designation of reserves. And our presenter today is Lisa Stairs, and our attorney is Ron Carl. Mr. Carl, would you set the foundation, please?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. At the end of the year, annual appropriations expire and unspent balances revert to the unappropriated fund balance. It is necessary to reauthorize expenditures which were authorized but unspent in a prior year. In addition, the board will need to designate the fund amounts to be committed for board policy reserves. The record should reflect that notice of two resolutions for the reappropriation of the unspent 2016 budget and designation of board policy reserves were published in the March 16, 2017 issue of the Villager newspaper. Therefore, the board has jurisdiction to consider these issues. Lisa Stairs will be presenting today.
Good morning.
Welcome, Ms. Stairs.
Good morning. Before you, we have the reappropriation for the 2017 budget. Just a brief overview of the process, as Ron was just stating, that the reappropriation process reauthorizes the spending from the prior fiscal year into the current fiscal year for the same intended purposes or projects. The examples include amounts previously appropriated or encumbered by purchase orders, unspent balances of capital projects, and unspent balances of prior year grants that are not on a reimbursement basis, unappropriated balance of certain funds when appropriate. The reappropriated amounts cannot exceed the unspent balance of the unspent budget of the department, elected office, or project. For the general fund, the reappropriation requests total $1.5 million, which is about $600,000 over what we reappropriated in 2016. As you can see from the table, the clerk and recorder's office is about $250,000 higher than last year. They're requesting $318,000 to be reappropriated to finish ongoing projects in their office for 2017. And then the other large item is the Sheriff's Office for $875,000, which is about $350,000 higher than last year. They reappropriate the unspent balances for their RISE program and also for the driving track. So for the total for the general fund is about $1.5 million. For the other funds, it's a total of $70.8 million. The majority of that is for the open spaces, sales tax and use tax, which is at $37.7 million for 2017. There's $7.3 million for the capital infrastructure or capital expenditure fund, and almost $17 million for the infrastructure fund. The road and bridge policy, or road and bridge, has some funds that they're reappropriating, but they're too close to their policy reserve to reappropriate too much. The vast difference between last year's capital expenditure fund and this year is we've closed out we've done a majority of the work for the expenditure or the energy project and the fairgrounds projects in 2016. And the central services fund fluctuates each year depending on which assets are being replaced. And the infrastructure fund is decreased by about $3 million from last year. They started work on the I-25 and Arapahoe Road interchange in 2016. So again, the total for the 2017 for all the other funds is $70.8 million. For the total 2017 reappropriation, we're requesting $72.3 million. Of that, $1,495,135 is for the general fund, and then $70.8 million for other funds. Are there any questions concerning the 2017 reappropriations?
Questions from the board? Okay. Commissioner Jackson.
Let me just ask one clarifying question. On the bottom line of my, I wasn't actually following along. I was looking at what I have here. And it looks like we have a variance of, so does that mean we have reappropriated $5.5 million less than last year?
Overall.
Yeah, that's what I just mean.
Yeah.
So, okay. That just gives me an idea that that we're getting, so that we're managing that better in a way.
As the projects are finishing up, and from the study session, there were a couple of changes in the general fund. The Sheriff's Office increased by about $250,000 due to the increased revenue that was recognized by the accountants for 2016. The capital expenditure fund decreased by $800,000 or $8,000 as a capital project closed out, and then the open space sales and use tax fund decreased by about $7.8 million as the accountants made their shareback accrual entry, so because they're on the federal year. So this has changed from the study session and is now down to the $72 million. But yes, overall it is less than what we have what we reappropriated in 2016.
Thank you. Any other questions? Commissioner Holland. Okay, I got to open the public hearing first. Thank you, Ms. Stairs. I will now open the public hearing. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to comment on this item, adoption of the 2017 reappropriation and designation of reserves? Okay, seeing no one, and there was no one who signed up, I'll close the public hearing. Commissioner Holland.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move to adopt the two resolutions as presented for supplemental appropriations related to the reappropriation of budgeted funds from 2016 that remain unspent into the 2017 budget, and to designate the reserves for specific funds per county policy.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Holland, seconded by Commissioner Jackson. Any further questions? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, Ms. Stairs. Okay, our next public hearing is the 2017 Community Development Block Grant and Home Investment Annual Action Plan. Our presenter today is Linda Haley, Senior Resource Division Manager, Community Resources, and Tiffany Blue is our Senior Assistant County Attorney. Ms. Blue, would you set the foundation, please?
Yes, this is a public hearing as required by federal law for the distribution of community development block grant funds, and notice of the hearing has been published in the Villager.
Thank you. Ms. Haley.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We are seeking approval for the 2017 one-year action plan, including the proposed community development block grant and home investment projects, and to authorize submittal of the 2017 one-year action plan to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. We reviewed the plan at a study session on February 6, 2017, and it was recommended to move it forward to public hearing. We've posted the plan for 30 days as required. We have held 2 community meetings and received some feedback, mainly through the next door posting done by Communications. The feedback we received was mainly informational questions. There was no substantive feedback that we received from the general public. Any questions?
Okay, questions from the board? Okay, seeing none. Thank you very much. I will open the public hearing. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to comment on the 2017 Community Development Block Grant and Home Investment Annual Action Plan? Seeing no one, I'll close the public hearing and ask for a motion. Commissioner Jackson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. As soon as I get to the right page. Oh, no, sorry.
This one here.
Well, it says it was moved by, so that's kind of awkward to say. Just a second, it's here. Well, why do I have a drawing? Okay, you want me to read? I'll read this. I'm sorry. I move to approve the 2017 one-year action plan, including the proposed community development block grant and home investment projects, and to authorize submittal of the 2017 one-year action plan to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development.
Motion made by Commissioner Jackson. You have a second?
I'll second that.
Seconded by Commissioner Holan. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Hearing none, motion passes unanimously. We have our third general business item was moved when that was the case WV R17-005 Cohen fee waiver was postponed. Are there any commissioner comments? Okay, seeing none, meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
It's a weirdly written motion. Well, it's the conclusion. It's not the motion itself.